Boom! Welcome to another Average Joe Sports Preview. Today we're going to be previewing the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Your Washington Huskies, representing the Pac-12, versus the Alabama Crimson Tide, representing the SEC. This game is a national title semifinal game as well in the in the relatively new college football playoff. I'm just like I did with the Wazoo preview, I don't have stats and everything in front of me. This is just kind of going to be off the seat of my pants here, so hopefully I'm able to keep it short. With UW, I'm going to take a little time and focus on both teams and keys to the game here. But to start off with UW, I truly believe that they have a puncher's chance in this game. The thing it's going to take is proper execution on all three phases of game, meaning offense, defense, and special teams. I mean, with that, the kicker is going to be very fundamental and key to this game today. Not today, but tomorrow on Saturday. But points are going to be very, very huge in this game for the Dogs. Sometimes, man, Coach Peterson's just gonna have to say, you know what, put my hands up in the air. It's 4th and 10. You know, we got a 35-yard field goal, and you know, let's just take 3 and live to fight another set of downs. And I say that because Alabama's defense, though they can be easily exposed in the secondary more specifically, I still believe that size is going to play a role later on in the game, which means that from an offensive standpoint as well, the receiving core and the quarterback are going to have to basically be on their best game. And you know, just looking at the last game that the Dogs played was the Pac-12 title game versus Colorado. Jake didn't look all that great. Again, he played good enough to win the game, and again, there's a fair bit of luck that had to come into it. But then again, in any game, you have to have a little bit of luck on top of a little bit of skill, on top of a lot of bit of skill rather, in order to win games. That's why I tend to worry, because when I saw, though I was excited for the Dogs win and whatnots, I did see that when the light shined brightest for Jake Browning, he kind of faltered a little bit. Now again, he's just a sophomore, like he's a true sophomore quarterback. So in the grand scheme, he's still very, very young, and he's never been in this position with University of Washington before. So, and when I say in this position, I mean in a position to win the Pac-12 title. So that is the biggest game of his very short career at the University of Washington. So yeah, was he going to play lights out? I wasn't 100% anticipating it, but at the same time, I expected him to play a little bit better than what he did at the Pac-12 title game, and that's going to play a key. Is he going to be able to have the composure in the pocket to survey out into the secondary and find the open man, whether it be John Ross or anybody else? It probably won't be John Ross, because I assume that Alabama's defense is going to double, triple, and quadruple team him. So you may have to find Chico McClatcher. You may even have to put Gaskin out in the flat as well, just to keep them guessing, because at the same time, you can't double team everybody. So if you're going to use John Ross as a decoy, then fine, but just make sure that those passes and those yards after catch come into play, forcing the Alabama defense to move over and cover whomever the hot receiver is. Again, we don't know if that's going to work until game time. Alabama, look, they're undefeated. They are the number 1 team in the country, and they have been all season. And you have to tip your cap to them for that. I mean, Nick Saban and company have done a great job over the last decade, just being one of the best teams in the country, and why should it stop here? Um, you know, offensively, they're pretty stacked. Again, I don't have names. Again, I don't have stat sheets in front of me like I normally do. But offensively, they're pretty balanced. I mean, their front four on offense is bigger than our front four on defense. So again, it's going in the trenches. It's going to be a battle of attrition. Who's going to be able to put their will on the other team and say, no, this is how it's going to go down at the end of the day. So that I'm really interested to see what that matchup is going to be like on both sides of the ball. Again, as I was talking about earlier, the weakness is in the Alabama Crimson Tide defensive secondary. Just looking at just in the brief viewing of games that I've seen them play in, they can and usually are exposed deep, but at the same time, that could be their one glaring weakness. But you have to get through all of their strengths in order to get to that weakness. Because again, if your weakness is in the secondary, but they're able to rush forward successfully and put immense pressure on the quarterback to either dunk it down for a short pass where the opposing offense doesn't get a whole lot of yards. Well, guess what? They've done their job. In other words, they're able to compensate for their weakness by having strength up front. So again, how are the Dogs going to be able to get through this? Well, one can only hope that Chris Peterson bowl game magic can show up. I think some trick plays are going to be used in this game, but I also think that the pro set offense that Chris Peterson runs here at the University of Washington can be effective in potentially getting past Alabama. And I don't want to look too far ahead, but I would be hard pressed not to give UW the advantage in the national title game should they get past this game. Because there's that confidence of saying we didn't just win the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, a bowl that normally Dogs don't get to go to because it's not normally in their conference, but we also beat, we as in the Dogs. Again, I got to stop saying we because I'm not the one throwing the passes. I'm just sitting in an armchair in my basement. But they can look at it and go, well, we just beat Alabama. We beat the number one team in the country. There's nothing else that can stop us. So there is that confidence building within that. But that being said, God, it hurts me to say this as a Husky fan. I do consider myself a quote diehard Husky fan, but I'm also a sports realist, and I think that's one thing people go, well, you're just being a fair weather fan. But I'm like, no, I try to look at the teams that the Dogs play, and I try to look at both the strengths and the weaknesses on both sides in order to come to a decision. And for me, and if I'm proven wrong, great. And if I'm proven right, well, then I can at least sit there and go, well, I mean, everything I said kind of came to fruition. So, that being said, like my buddy Trevor always says, you got to pick a score, dude. So, I am going to pick a score. And unfortunately, I have the Dogs falling just a hair short in this game. I actually have Alabama. I'm still going to preach that it's going to be a close game, but I got Alabama 27. UW 17. I know that's going to sound weird, but I mean, it's a close game. But again, I'm looking at that purely from a sense of, I think that the size of Alabama it gives them that much of an advantage to them versus the Dogs. Now again, and Dog fans, we got to realize I'm not sitting there saying that we suck or anything, because I don't believe that. I do believe that they do have a puncher's chance, but I'm also looking at it in the sense of Alabama plays a very disciplined style of football. Everyone knows their role, everyone knows where they're going to be at and why and when they need to be there. And with a coach like Nick Saban, though, as long as you do everything right, you're good to go. The last thing you want to see is Nick Saban disappointed in you. And again, I've watched those games where players have made those mental mistakes, And let me tell you, I don't want to be in front of that. I'm just a college football fan watching it on TV. So I just think that overall, Alabama has just a slight. And again, I wouldn't say it's huge. I don't think we're going to get dump trucked by any stretch of the imagination, dog fans. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I do believe that when push comes to shove, and Alabama gets on a roll, and that tide does start to roll, they're very, very hard to beat. And that's why I still have it a close game, but I think we do fall short. And I said earlier in a vlog, actually once everything got released, I felt that the Dogs had a better matchup with either Ohio State or Clemson. I did feel that. But at the same time, though, Chris Peterson does have that magic, and hopefully that magic will show up a little bit and prove me wrong. I want to be proven wrong by saying that I think Alabama's going to win. I don't think it's going to be a rout, but I do feel that Alabama has just a slight advantage. And you know me, if you've watched my vlog, even when the Dogs played Oregon in those 11 other years when we got dump trucked, I always said it's a loss until it's not. And I've always been and I've always kept it real as both a Husky fan and as a sports realist. So I'm giving you this disclaimer because I can foresee that the Husky faithful of my friends that happen to watch this vlog, all 7 of you, thank you for watching, by the way. I feel that you guys may try to stuff it down my throat. How dare you think this way? You're not a true fan. No, I am a true fan. I am very much so a true fan, but at the same time, I try to give you an honest opinion from a fan perspective. And part of being a big fan, being a I don't want to say a true fan because I believe that everyone's fandom is valid, number one. And number two, I feel that there are different levels to fandom, right? There's the overly fanatic where we think everything's going to be super positive and everything needs to go our way. And then when it does, they're the first ones to jump off the cliff. And then there's the ones that look at the situations for what they are and try to give an honest to God opinion. And if you feel that your team may not have an advantage in something, and saying that, there's nothing wrong with you saying that. Again, that gets into a whole theory of, questioning one's fandom. And you should never do that because everyone's fandom is different. But anyway, like I said, unfortunately, Dogs fall short. I want to be proven wrong so bad, and if I am proven wrong, feel free to say, hey, DeSean, I told you so, you can suck it. But at the same time, looking at it, but if some of the things that I was talking about come to fruition, understand and respect the fact that I'm paying attention. So yeah, other than that, and then you got Clemson playing Ohio State later on tomorrow as well. I'm not going to go into details on that. I'm going to say... I'm going to actually say Clemson comes out of that by the hairs of their chin too. So, go Buckeyes and all that, but I actually think that Clemson has a definite they have that special something that I think Ohio State used up when they played Michigan. I didn't think that was a first down either, but hey, I'm not the referee. So yeah, that is my Average Joe Sports take for today and for the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Go Dogs! Let's beat Bama. I want to be proven wrong, dog. I want to be proven wrong dogs. Yeah. So I've wasted 14 minutes of your time. I'm gonna go. Peace out.